guys, what's going on? Clement Bryant coming at you from the Stream.TV studios in Hollywood, California. Welcome back to Agents of Marvel, Episode 7.
Yeah!
Let's get going, guys. So, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. last night was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
A very popular writer appeared. We got some new updates going on and some stuff coming from Comic-Con that we need to talk about.
Yes.
So, starting it off, I'm going to throw it to who we got in the studio today. Today, we got Madison Brunoehler.
Hey guys, it is Madison Brunoehler, also known as Maddie to the Max, and this time, I brought a swear jar.
Which we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah, because you know what's up, so. Cap says no swearing.
Yep. And now I have to follow along, too.
And Tatiana Hullender.
Yes, I'm Tatiana from the Marvel Report, and I'm super salty that I did not get to meet Gabriel Luna at Comic-Con this weekend.
Yes, so before we get to the S.H.I.E.L.D. recap, Madison and I got to meet Gabriel Luna, Robbie Reyes himself at LA Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yes, it was awesome, and she's being very melodramatic right now.
It's very
Don't pay
awesome.
attention.
It was
but
good.
it was
You
cool.
missed out on so
I
much.
really did.
You
I
did.
really did.
You did.
Okay, what is this? What is this going on right here?
She's comforting me like a
comforting-
normal
this is what
human
girls
reaction.
do.
What about me? What about me?
All right, tell
No,
us about
it
your
was good.
experience meeting him.
No, he was a super cool guy.
Yeah.
Like, he was very nice. People were swabbing him for photos and interviews after our panels.
Yeah.
And we were like, man, we're never gonna get a picture. We're never gonna get a table. He was like, hey, man, I appreciate all the panels. I appreciate all your help. I appreciate everything that you guys are doing.
that's so
and he was like,
sweet.
hey, man, let me get a picture. I was like, oh my God, I got a picture with Ghost Rider.
Right?
Right? How was it for you?
It was great. I was dressed up as Belle as the time,
Aw.
so it's a picture. It's like
It really is Beauty and the
Beauty and
Beast.
the
It really is. It was
Oh, I
beautiful.
love it.
Maybe
was
leading up to
amazing.
what happened with Beauty and the Beast today?
Exactly.
That was
yes,
interesting.
absolutely. It was like, well, it's true that Marvel is owned by Disney, so crossovers could happen.
There you go. I
Let's
like
see
it.
some Disney princesses show up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm totally down
I don't
for
know
that.
how
You
that will
definitely
work.
help him sell his soul back or buy his soul back or
Yes.
whatever.
All they
What?
would need would be a musical number, and then they'd be good.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't know if I want to see musical numbers on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Come
Oh,
on.
no.
I don't
It would be
know.
amazing.
Now I've got to...
Belinda!
Yes!
No.
No, but okay, I have to say though, like the power of love moment that happened in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tonight,
Yes.
that
Last
just reminded me
night?
with
Oh
Disney.
my
Yeah, last
gosh.
night. That's
Yeah.
last night.
Yes.
But like when Gabe was like, "Stop, Robbie," and then Robbie was like, "For Gabe, I will stop." And I was
Yes.
like, "Oh,
Let's
look
get
at
into
that."
that because
Yes.
it's a really good episode. Also, on to the S.H.I.E.L.D. recap. First things first. Mace was on the warpath in the episode,
Oh
man.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, he was going in. Like, he was just basically, stop calling me Jeffrey.
Yeah.
The right name is Director Mace.
Yeah, he
It's
turned
like-
on a dime. I mean, with that
like-
information, of
I
course,
know.
he feels
Exactly.
betrayed. I understand.
Right, but something just like to go from complete Captain America corniness,
Exactly.
a team
Yeah.
that trusts is a team
To
that
Tony
triumphs.
Stark in Civil War.
But just
really.
like, exactly, he was just like on a dime. I'm like, dude,
But
you are.
he
What is
has
going on
done
with you?
nothing to endear himself to me. Like, I don't like him. I like him turning like that. I'm like, that was only a matter of time. I so don't feel this love that I should for him.
Right.
Like, I should like want to stand by him the way I want to stand by Phil. But it's like I know nothing about him.
Right, we haven't got
Totally.
enough time to really
Yeah, he's a
see his
complete
perspective.
mystery.
And I did think like I said before, like I did like him, and I saw where he was coming from. But now, of course, if I have to pick sides, I'm obviously picking our agents.
I mean, Coulson, man. It's like,
Yeah,
come on,
always.
man. Coulson is my
Always
boy.
Team Coulson.
Yeah.
Always.
He's my homie.
Of course.
Hashtag Coulson lives, guys.
Always.
Always.
Unless Coulson and Daisy are fighting, and then I'm gonna pick Daisy. Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna go.
I don't know. I love Daisy. I love
Coulson.
Chloe Bennett.
Actually,
I love Daisy
She's my
the
celebrity
most.
crush, but I don't know about all that now.
I know about all
Actually,
that.
above all that, I'm going with Fitzsimmons.
There
That's
you
what
go.
I'm going
You go
with.
But what if they're fighting like they are now?
No.
Doesn't matter. They're
Then-
still the best shit ever.
I'll hold my previous statement for the week. Mac. Mac is the
Okay.
boy. Mac is the gangster. He's the G. It doesn't matter.
That's true.
Doesn't
And
matter.
Mac is always right too.
Yeah,
Like,
always.
that's true.
Always.
If
Yeah.
Mac thinks something, you know it's the right thing to think.
Shotgun axe. Yeah. He had the shotgun axe last night,
I
too.
know, I saw
was
that.
like,
That was
man, take the
amazing.
shotgun axe out, please. I want to see you kick some people's ass.
The
Let's do
shotgun
this.
axe. I love it. I love it so much. It's so good.
It's so good.
But
so
yeah,
good.
Mace is being a party pooper right now.
Little bit.
Yeah, and what do you do to
Isn't he
freaking Simmons?
always?
Like, I don't understand. Like, that was the
Where
worst
is
part.
Simmons?
That was the worst part.
Like-
It was
That was
like,
terrible.
We'll get in that later.
yeah, but at
We
least
gotta
with the
lay out.
team, he was straightforward about what he
Exactly.
wanted. He came in and he was like, I want this, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. You're lying to me right now.
Yes.
And so I could totally buy, and that's, you know what? that retroactively makes the rest of him even creepier too. Because like
Oh,
I
yeah.
totally bought into him being
Yeah.
sincere there, you know.
Yeah.
But they don't know whatever he's done.
Yeah.
Right, and he's not a hero
Yeah.
from last week's
Yeah.
episode,
Yeah.
what
So
Simmons said.
So there's
Yeah.
some shady stuff is going on right
Yeah,
now.
Very
seriously.
shady.
But the thing that I really liked was some of the one-liners in this episode.
Oh,
with
we
the-
got a whole section for that one.
There, we are goose free. That
Oh, that was the best. I literally wrote me a little. I made a little note of that. I was like, goose free. Okay, gonna use that.
That was so good.
Let's still come back to
Okay,
that
yeah.
because there
We're
was
gonna
a
hit
lot of
ourselves.
ones that I memorized and I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I was
man,
impressed.
absolutely.
So the big stuff last week, well, yeah, last night. I
Last
mean,
night, you know, sometime.
Ghost Rider's origin in the MCU.
Yes.
That was done really well. That
Agreed.
whole middle part,
Yeah.
like I didn't expect to be as emotionally attached to Gabe and Robbie's and even Eli's story to
Right.
a
Yeah.
point. Like
Yeah.
I found myself actually feeling sorry for Robbie rather than feeling like, man, it would be awesome to be people have fear you and like everything. It was
Yeah.
more of like,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I am really, and the kid, I think is Lorenzo Henry is the guy that plays Gabe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is spot on.
Yes.
He's
It's really
spot
easy
on.
to feel the struggle that they're both going through.
Absolutely. And I love the way that they did the scene where they slow-mode when Robbie went through the window and
Yeah,
like
you see him
going through
rotate.
mid-air and he's
Oh,
like
yeah.
and it's glass and it's in slow-mo and I was like, wow. And then when he hit the floor, when he hit the ground, it was like, whoa, I felt that one.
Yeah.
He was, like, he was dead.
Yeah.
He was dead.
But what's
Yeah.
great about that was when they, went to the flashback, all they said was back in the day.
Right.
They didn't even do a day.
It was
don't
just
even
like
know
back
when,
in the
just don't
day.
even know.
And that's what I
Past.
loved about it.
It was great.
It was just
Yeah.
back in the day. It wasn't,
You don't
it wasn't
need
like
to know.
December
Yeah.
2014.
Yeah.
It
This
was
isn't
like
the present
perfect.
time.
It's just
This
like
is-
the good old days.
This
literally.
is a flashback. We're just letting you know this is a flashback.
But yeah, that
That's what's
entire
happening.
the entire car, sequence, the entire shootout, car crash, everything
Yes.
was like, for lack of a better word, beautifully done.
Yes.
Like it was painful to watch.
Yeah.
But it was super, super well done.
And
It
then-
was great.
yeah.
And even the part, what is the part? Like everything to the callbacks in the comic book.
Yeah.
Like the street racing.
Yeah.
Fifth Street logos, all of that was
Right.
really done well, and it wasn't overbearing so much so that it
Yeah.
was kind of harkening back to everything in the comic book.
Yeah.
It took the most important parts and the great parts
And they
of the comic book and put
adapted
it
it
into
well.
the show.
Yeah.
And I like that they did that because if I remember correctly in the comic book, it was like he stole like a car from his work or whatever.
Yeah.
So I liked it so much better that it was that from his uncle, and it felt like much more lighthearted. You're not
Yeah.
like,
Right.
oh well.
Right.
Absolutely. And what I really liked was when Gabe was like, oh yeah, the kind civilian that pulled up on a motorcycle. I was like, motorcycle?
yeah, oh,
What?
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Oh.
Good segue.
Samaritan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's either Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch who's in the MCU.
Yeah.
Right.
We
I hope it's Johnny
all
Blaze.
I do too.
know that it's 97% probably Johnny Blaze.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like seeing that
Absolutely.
That was-
was I
Oh,
didn't
they look
expect
so good.
it.
And
No,
I
me
love,
either.
I love
What?
the fact that the skulls are different.
Yeah, they're different. Like his
Yeah.
is more
Yeah.
his is more like rounded, and
Yeah.
you don't see the marks as you would in a Johnny Blaze comic book.
Right.
Whereas Robbie, you see the cuts in the skull,
Yeah.
you see the indents in the skull.
Yeah.
And you
It
have
was
these
so
like
perfect.
air vents or something where
Right.
they like blaze up more, kind
Yeah.
of. Like we went to a panel at Comic-Con with the visual effects team, and it was so cool because they talked about like how they were gonna have it emote. And there was a moment in the episode where it was like after Gabe was like, "Robbie, come back" or whatever,
Yeah.
and you saw all the flames go down, and it was like, "Oh yeah, you
Yes.
can see the
Yeah.
emotion
It was
losing the
so
flame
well
of it."
done.
That was
Like-
that was a
Excellent.
That was a great.
That was
that whole-
wonderful.
The
Hats
whole-
off to the CGI
Yeah.
team. They're amazing.
Oh,
They're doing-
we
they're
met them
doing
last
so
week,
well
and
this
they
year.
told
Yeah.
us that this episode, the last night's episode,
Yeah.
they only finished it on Friday of last
Oh my
week.
gosh.
I know.
Which was
Wow.
outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean,
Excellent.
I've worked on shows that have taken like the day before.
Yeah.
But with something like that, with all the graphics, all the flaming skulls, you
Yeah.
know, the hell, this, you know,
Hell
the
Charger.
not the Hell Charger, but you know, the jet.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, the
everything there,
Quinjet.
the Quinjets,
Yeah.
and like. Spot on impressive.
Yeah.
Like I
Absolutely.
couldn't tell that none
Definitely.
of this was fake.
Yeah.
I was actually believing that buying into this.
Yeah.
Like I could go out in East LA and get shot up by Robbie Reyes or something.
Yeah.
Robbie Reyes lighting me on fire. Which I don't want to happen.
That would be bad.
Nobody light me
Don't
on
really,
fire.
don't
do
I
anything
wasn't
to
pulled
piss
out
him
of the
off.
story for a second. That's
Yeah.
definitely true.
It definitely
always,
kept you
It felt
there.
really realistic.
Yeah.
It felt
Right.
believable,
Yeah.
even though it's ludicrous.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, that's for the Ghost Rider part.
But,
I
yeah.
wouldn't say so much for the ghosts themselves
Yeah.
part, but that's
Yeah.
just because that story is already so.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
they're
much
like-
put us away. But
Yeah.
I like having Johnny Blaze in the MCU. Guys, like I wasn't prepared. I was like, Johnny? Is that Johnny Blaze?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's Johnny Blaze! Like, that was my reaction.
As soon as Gabe brought up Good Samaritan, I was like, oh, it's
Well,
gonna be
it was
Johnny
like-
Blaze. But I didn't think we'd see him.
Yeah.
Then we
Right.
saw him, and I definitely screamed.
Yes.
Like it has to be, it has to be Johnny. I don't
Yeah,
think.
everyone in the comments
Like
is agreeing
everybody
with
in the
you.
comments,
It's
like
gotta be.
Bethany as it says, it has to be Johnny Blaze
It would
because
be
they
so,
hit
like,
him out last
who
week.
even knows who Danny catches? Like,
I mean, I
sure,
love
like,
Danny. Danny
sure,
is
like-
like a close second for me when you're
Yeah.
talking about Johnny.
Yeah, but like for the other 300,000 people who are
Yeah.
watching, I don't know.
But what
Totally.
I'm really curious to get what they're gonna get into is like, you know, because they've gotten to like the science side, and then there's also like the magic side of like Asgard and all that. But like, where does Ghost Rider really fall? And I'm really curious to see how they're gonna do that in the TV universe, if they're
That's
even
why
gonna
we
get
have
into
Doctor
it.
Strange.
Exactly.
Which we're gonna get into later.
Which
But
I'm
let's
so
keep the
excited
Shield
about.
recap rolling because we got more to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So the hand-to-hand fight between Robbie and Mace.
Yeah,
That was
He
dope.
was actually
I was
holding
like,
his own.
He
I was like, whoa.
I was like, he's like,
okay.
I got this. Boom, boom, boom. I was like,
Like,
wait, what are you doing right now?
can
Are
actually
you
hold your
really
own?
fighting a Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
Really?
Like,
Yeah,
he's
I
like, I
don't-
got this. Like,
I don't
what the
know.
hell?
I don't know how he did it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Like, I was like,
I
wow.
guess it shows us that he's got more in him than we expected.
and the fact that he was like taking these punches in the face,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like there was no blood, but I guess that's part of like his powers.
Right.
He was just like,
But he was
just
still like a
going
little
in.
like winded. He was like,
Yeah.
okay, wow, okay,
Yeah.
I just got hit by a Ghost Rider.
I was just like-
I'm a good 1
Oh,
minute.
and even when I love the fact that he busted out of the containment
Yes.
unit, and Fitz was like, "It's
That
the
was
most strongest
awesome.
thing on earth."
I
blah, blah,
love
blah.
that.
Boom!
They were just
It's
watching
like,
him without
yeah,
doing
like
anything. They're
it's
just like,
done.
he's not gonna Fitz. He's not gonna be. No, he can't do it. Oh,
Right.
well, maybe. No, it's
No,
fine.
no,
We're
no,
not.
it's
We're
fine.
Yeah, and I'm just,
Like,
and
just
I'm just
done.
over there like Ghost Rider's about
And
to
then they
break
were just
out.
kind of both Daisy and Gabe were just kind of like they're like, don't do it, but then they're like, well, I mean,
Right.
let's just not.
It was so
Let's
good. I was
not
just
stop
like,
him.
it's so good.
It was like, let's just let him go to town.
This is going to
Right.
town. They're
It's
going.
okay.
But I like the fact that you saw at the end of the fight, you saw Robbie's flame go off, and you saw part of the skull inside
Yeah,
of his face.
that was
it
really
was well
cool.
done. And it wasn't like the movie Ghost Rider where his flames were all blue and he was emotional. I'm like, no, this was actually done right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Where it was a slow transition back to it. It was like
that was
like he was
beautiful.
like almost ashamed to show his face
Yeah,
again.
like I said,
really
that was like a Disney moment. That was
Exactly.
like a Disney Power of Love moment. And then
I
it was so
loved it.
heartbreaking when Gabe was like, "Let's get out of here," or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I was like, I understand you right now, but I'm hurting. I'm hurting for Robbie.
I know. It's just like if you two could just burst into song, all your
Right?
problems would be solved.
Exactly.
We're not singing in Agents of Marvel. Okay, anyways.
You're doing it.
Well, I can do that because I have a naturally good voice.
I have
No,
a
I'm kidding.
terrible
Let's
voice,
go.
but I will sing.
I cannot sing.
No more.
Yes, both of us.
So I want to get back to what you were talking about. Colson's quips got even better in this
Oh,
episode.
absolutely.
Like, that's a little Fox News, ain't it? Like, I was just like, God, Colson, you were so on point. Like, it was so good.
Either
Absolutely.
the writers or Clark Gregg stepped up their game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know
Clark
who did
said-
it.
I love the just no. We are geese free.
Yeah,
we are
He's
geese
geese free.
free.
But like all season long, he's just been they've been flying out.
But
Getting
you know
better
what it
every
makes me
episode.
think of, though? It harkens back to me to, like, in the beginning of Colson when you saw him in Thor.
Yes.
And, like, the old school, he's like, Donald, I don't think you've been honest with me. And it's
Yeah.
just like that. It's not even a quip. It's just like being, like, very, like, witty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
love that about Coulson.
Also, Mac's line about like who names these things? Is it like an evil focus group or something?
Right. Yes.
That was great.
Best part was the harken back to Peggy Carter.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole season 2 of Agents of Carter #Save Agent Carter. But yeah, that was great. It was like
was awesome.
I know what that is. I know what
Yeah,
that is. I know what you're
exactly.
Like, they said the company Isodyne. I was
Yeah.
like I know that
Oh,
name.
yeah.
Done.
I know
It was
that name.
perfect.
Isodyne.
It was so good.
So what I kind of thought was interesting was that hit that was for Robbie and Gabe
Yeah.
was actually
for
meant for
Eli.
Eli.
I know. What was
Yeah.
really interesting was
Like-
that I didn't realize it was a hit. I thought it was like the other street racers, like,
Right.
oh,
Right.
we don't like that you keep beating us, so we're
Yeah,
like,
that's
we're
what I
gonna
thought
take
it
you
was
down.
gonna
I
go
think
to
we
originally.
learned it was a hit the previous
Wait, we
episode
did.
when the guy in the prison was like, "Oh no, it wasn't like us. It was the dude that asked us to do it, right?"
Right.
But yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting that it wasn't for them. Like I
Yeah.
feel like as we sort of unraveled and we learned the story of Eli, it makes sense, of course, why they want to put the hit out on him.
Right.
But at that point, when we learned that, it still seemed
It
like
was
Eli
still
was
like-
on the side of good.
Right.
So it was super shocking.
And that leads us
Yeah.
into Eli is an evil freaking bastard,
Yeah.
guys. And
Yeah.
he was responsible for the fact that the ghost of the creation too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
that was super
Like,
surprising.
it was just
Yeah.
it was so well done. The twist, I was like,
Uh-huh.
wait, he's actually evil?
Yeah.
and he's actually going off of what was in the comic books.
Yeah. And at
Yes,
the same time,
this
it
is
was
great.
like they weren't good either, you know?
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
like they were just like, I guess, marginally better than him, but not
Right.
really.
Yeah.
And so then when he's revealed to be evil, it's like, on the one hand, you're like, oh my God, no. But at the same time, it's like, well, I guess I expected it, because why would he
Really?
be running around with them otherwise?
Yeah,
right?
totally.
They're all bad.
Like he's just like his whole demeanor changed.
Yeah.
And props to the actor Jose. What is it? How do you pronounce his last name?
Zuniga?
Yeah, Zuniga. He was on
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, I actually don't want to meet this guy.
Right, and he's
this
still
guy's a
maintained
horrible
like
guy.
calm composure, talking to like Coulson, like,
Yeah.
oh, I think you need to get out of here because
Right.
I'm about to explode and kill
Right.
thousands of people.
Like I was just like, what
Yeah.
what is going on? Like he's actually evil. He was behind trying to find the book in the first place.
Yeah.
When in the beginning of the episode, he was just more like, hey, I want to just be included on this.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I want to know what's going on.
That's
Yeah.
why he went so easily with what's her face last
Right.
episode. Because
Yeah.
we were wondering, we were like, it seems kind of like they're in on it together.
Exactly.
Like
He
he's
didn't
not
really put up much of a
This is
fight
like,
Yeah.
all right, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, let's keep it going.
Yes.
Speaking of Eli messed some crap up.
Yeah, he did.
Where did everybody go?
Yeah.
Where did everybody go? Like Fitz is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Coulson's gone. Mac is gone. Simmons, we don't know where the heck
I mean,
she
do you
is.
think
Like,
that
where's
they're actually
everybody
gone
at?
somewhere, like, not that they just ran away, like they were literally transported somewhere because of the...
I don't know.
blast, or-
I don't know. It's like, damn you, ABC, for ending it like that. Don't end episodes like that anymore, ABC.
Especially,
I
is
had a heart
there a
attack.
hiatus coming up after
Yes,
that?
Yeah,
it's a 4-week
4
hiatus.
weeks.
Yeah.
So, and you know they're going to keep doing things like that because
It's just like,
coming back.
no, it
But
felt like a
my guess-
mid-season finale.
My guess is that they're probably what they're gonna do is they're gonna be somewhere else, like another dimension, something that's gonna really tie
Yeah,
in
that's-
with Doctor
Right.
Strange. So kind of something tying into that, and they have to go there, and it's like, hey, if you're paying attention in Doctor Strange, this is the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Totally.
But it would have been cool to show us where they were in this episode
Yes.
Right.
because this is the weekend that Doctor Strange is coming
Right.
out.
Yes.
So you want to know
And
that you can come back.
especially if they're doing what I think they're doing. I'm not sure if you guys didn't see the IMAX preview for Doctor Strange,
No,
right?
we're not cool enough.
They showed
gonna
some
see it
interesting stuff.
tomorrow.
And I'm jealous.
I'm so
but like,
excited.
The actual movie, right?
they,
the
you
actual
saw
movie.
part of the dimension, the multiverse, and it's
Yeah.
just like, maybe they're there, maybe they're not. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know, and I'm nervous for all of them.
I know.
ABC, like I said last week, don't kill off Mac. And I'm gonna add someone to
No.
this.
Yes.
Don't
kill off May, and do not
Oh,
kill
God.
off Fitz.
Don't kill
They're
off
I'm
not gonna-
okay with
They're not going
Simmons.
to kill off any of these people. They
Don't-
need all of them. They
Don't
need
kill
all
off
of
my
them.
Fitzsimmons. Don't
kill-
you dare
don't-
kill
don't
off
kill
my
anyone.
Fitzsimmons.
Don't
kill
or
them off.
Coulson,
I was saying
or
don't
Mac,
kill
I mean, you
them
also
off.
can't kill off Daisy, obviously.
or May.
Don't kill off those
May.
Fire yet. Just don't kill off anyone.
You know what? Don't
Just
kill
do
off
it.
the main characters.
Exactly.
I hear that helps a lot with keeping a story flowing, you know, and a show good.
Yeah, I don't-
don't
Hashtag
pull
Sleepy
a-
Hollow.
Hashtag
Oh.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, right?
Seriously?
You guys, I can't even
Anyways,
talk about Walking Dead.
let's move
I
on,
can't even do it.
guys. So we're gonna get into the TV verse.
Yes.
Hey, and by the way, guys, if you have any questions or comments, please leave us a tweet at hashtag Agents of Marvel or join in on the chat in YouTube.
Let's do it.
Yes.
So, all of our fan favorites of the supporting cast from the Defenders are coming back.
Yes.
That's exciting.
I'm mostly
Eldon
excited about
Henson.
Misty Knight coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm actually really excited because I had heard that it was canceled before it even got anywhere. So I was like, oh no. And then
No,
it was
they're
like,
not gonna
oh,
cancel
no,
it.
Defenders are actually happening. I was like, yes.
Yes, and it was
Yes.
great. And even like today dropped, Rachel Taylor is coming back as
Right.
Trish.
Yes.
Scott Glenn, my boy Scott Glenn as Stick is coming back, which I'm very excited about.
Oh,
And
nice.
Rosario Dawson's coming
Of
back
course.
too. But we all know
course.
that she's gonna get killed off.
No, we do
She's
not
gonna
know
get-
that. We do
She's
not
going to
know
get killed.
that.
She's going to get
She's
Coulson.
gonna live
She's going to
forever.
get Coulson in the Defenders.
she's not.
I'm like
I'm gonna-
98% sure about it.
And I am 90% sure that I'm gonna choke you.
Okay, no need to get violent on Clement. No need to get violent
I
on
think that if it happens, it's because you put it out in the universe and you made it happen. All right, I'm gonna blame you.
We
if it
can't harm
happens.
his pretty face. We all know it's why everyone
I'm not
shows
gonna
up to
harm
this
his
show.
face.
Damn right.
Just his neck.
Everything below the face.
Just not the face, not the face. Anyways, let's keep like Deborah Ann Wool's coming
Yeah.
back. Carrie Ann Moss is coming back.
Oh.
Ava Darville is back. Like
Of
this is
course.
gonna be a
Yeah.
huge TV series,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thinking they're gonna spend the 8 episodes focusing on building up whoever the villain is,
Right.
maybe the hands in it, and then the 4 of them.
Yeah.
But now we've got all these supporting
But I'm
characters.
sure they're
and
all
I'm just
gonna
like,
have
what's
like
going on?
because they each one has to have their own individual life before they come
Totally.
together, right? They're not coming together in the individual series. So it makes sense to have each of the supporting cast there for at least an episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally. And I'm genuinely jazzed by it.
Yeah.
And I like the way they're doing it. They're not going with press release. So-and-so has been added to the Defenders cast. It's more of like the social media blasts that they're doing on the Defenders and Luke Cage pages. Okay, here's a cast member addition. Here's a cast member addition. This is going on. I love it.
Yeah.
It's great stuff.
So we saw set pictures, right?
Yeah.
Of Misty Knight and
And-
Jessica Jones interacting
Yep.
with each
Yeah.
other?
Yes.
Yep.
Because
Yes.
I'm ready for lady interactions.
Absolutely.
Oh, especially the fact that they're both lovers of Luke Cage.
There's that, but
Like
hopefully they
that,
can look.
like-
I mean, because
like-
Claire is too, so
Oh,
I
yes.
feel like we can look past this and.
Deathmatch, Jessica Jones wins. No, kidding. Kidding.
Claire just.
What do you think they're
Claire
going to do
slept with
romantically
everybody, though.
speaking, though?
I don't
Like,
know. That's
because
why I think they're going to kill off Rosario.
I'm going to murder you. Okay. So,
It's okay. It's okay, Tatiana.
Thank you.
See,
I need
Zach
that. I
Fontaine
need
in the
that.
comics relates to me. He gets me. He's
You
like,
know what?
the night nurse will
Zach
become the
Fontaine-
martyr. She's going to die like a lot. The glue that forms the Defenders.
I don't like any of you. I don't like any of you. No, but I mean, just because I'm wondering. Okay, so I enjoyed Misty and Luke, but then
Yeah.
of course they brought in Claire, and then they were like, well, this
Yeah.
is our ship.
Let's get some coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get some coffee.
Really?
And then of course I ship Misty and Danny in the comics.
Right.
And now I'm like, Danny seems kind of like a scrub. Like I don't know
Well,
what's
we
going
haven't
on.
even met Danny yet. We
but-
haven't met Danny
I know,
yet.
but he looks like a 24-year-old who
He's
doesn't.
the youngest person in the Defenders. Don't be dissing my boy.
I'm sorry,
Iron Fist.
but
All right.
Misty looks, she looks like she's got everything together. So it'll
I mean,
be
Misty's
interesting to
fine,
see.
but like,
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. It'll be interesting to see how she would fall for Danny if they do that. Like that's what I'm interested in. That like if they're gonna do that or not.
But what's
That's what I'm
really
asking.
interesting is with Claire,
it's
it's like.
dirty to me now. It's like.
See, so then
Like,
why were you
like,
making?
I don't know, but I like Misty and I like Danny, but I don't know like if I want to see them together. Even when I'm in the comic books, I was like, why are they together?
Oh really? You don't like it in the
I didn't
comics?
like it in the comic. Like, not for. I just didn't like the pairing. I was just like, this seems a little weird.
Interesting.
But that's just me.
So that's what I'm wondering.
The thing with
Because I'm
Claire
all
is
about
that
romance.
Claire's been through all the Netflix series,
Yeah.
and she's slept with a few guys. So it's
She's
like,
only slept with one of them. she and Daredevil only did a little kissing.
Let's keep going. So we
you.
did get some news that the first 2 episodes of Defenders will be directed by S.J. Clarkson.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Female director, which I'm all for.
absolutely.
Yeah, and she did the first 2 of Jessica Jones.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
And those were amazing, brilliant setup episodes.
Right,
Absolutely.
and she did Heroes too, and she worked on Dexter.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited by
Yeah.
this news. How are you guys feeling about it?
I'm loving it. I'm
I
really
am
I'm loving it
excited.
as much as McDonald's. I'm loving
Slightly more.
Eh.
Slightly
Five
more
Guys.
like, I'm loving it more like In and Out. You know.
I'm referring to McDonald's slogan, you guys.
Yeah, I'm
not
referring to their
actually
food.
like
Anyways.
McDonald's.
You guys are crazy. But yeah, I
Constantly.
love this. I love this.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's
I am
great.
completely jazzed by this. And everything that they are doing with the Defenders right now, I am just over the moon for.
Yeah, totally.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be
I
great.
can't wait. So let's get
Yes.
into the movie verse.
Yes, but before we do that, be sure to add your questions and thoughts on Twitter using the hashtag Agents of Marvel, or getting into this conversation in the comments on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Just tell us
Please.
when we're wrong.
Yeah, just tell us lots of things, all your opinions. Let us know.
And I'm rarely wrong. Anyway.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Anyway, so starting
Nice
with
to
the
meet you,
movie
really
verse.
wrong. I'm Maddie.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
I'm
you.
Clement J
Clever,
Amazing.
clever,
No,
y'all.
all right.
I thought you were rarely wrong.
I mean, I'm really wrong. Anyways, so speaking of starting the movie verse,
Yes.
so Stan Lee, which we all love, James Gunn directed him in 3 cameos for upcoming Marvel movies.
Yes.
Well, if you're gonna get anyone to direct you, it may as well be James Gunn.
Really?
I love the fact that they have someone as offbeat as James Gunn doing
Yeah,
this.
that's
Absolutely.
true. So he fits.
He fits
so
right in
good.
every
Yeah.
Stan Lee like post-credit scene
Yeah.
or appearance is very offbeat.
I know,
Yeah.
it's great, but
Like-
everyone's like, I got it. But what I really want, I want a Stan Lee cameo where it's like he's a janitor and like Thor's visiting Tony or something, and he
Right.
comes by cleaning and he goes to clean something on the table, picks up the hammer, just cleans it, puts it back, and nobody ever knows
that he's
That
worthy
would
to
be
be
awesome.
worthy.
He's worthy.
I love
He's
it.
worthy.
I love
Yeah,
that.
let's do it. No, that was
Absolutely.
great.
I know that it's for time purposes. You know, you don't
Yeah.
want to fly him out to Australia or whatever.
And he's getting
Yeah.
up there in age, so it
Okay,
makes
but
sense.
that's my concern.
Yeah.
I mean, but everybody's saying that. John
Yeah.
Campion from Collider is saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they've been
It's-
saying that for years.
I know.
But yeah, he's spry. He was at LA Comic Con.
Yeah,
he was
that's
spry.
what-
He
he
was
was great.
going
He was
off.
he was great at LA Comic Con, and they were
Yeah.
just telling all these stories about him
Right.
as if he weren't there. And I was
Yeah.
like, y'all, this feels like a eulogy. I'm
Really?
just-
He's still around, y'all.
He's still around.
He is a 17-year-old and an 39-year-old
There you
body,
go.
and
There
he ain't
you
going
go.
nowhere. I hope.
That's our hope. Let's
see.
not jinx it. That's our hope.
So there was an interesting Facebook Live from Thor Ragnarok director Taika Waititi,
Yes.
and he dropped a little spoiler that Meek from Planet Hulk will be another character in Thor
So
Ragnarok.
do you guys think they're full out doing the Planet Hulk storyline in Thor?
They've gotta be.
Yeah.
They've gotta be. You don't have Hulk in Thor
Right.
Ragnarok and make it a buddy movie and have
Right.
something like that, and it have like the gladiator armor that was revealed at Comic Con earlier
and
this
I
year.
feel like they have to do it because like they're not going to do a Hulk standalone movie,
Right.
And they've already established that Thor isn't the most viable
Right.
on his own.
And you have Hela that
Yeah.
played into the Planet Hulk storyline.
Yeah,
So it's like,
so I mean, I think it's
come on.
great. Like, I think it'll be exciting.
Right.
I'm interested to see how they're actually going to do that adaptation on the live screen.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, how are they going to really make this swallowable for
Right.
the audience for what
As
we
long
already
as they
know?
ground it in the characters. I
Yeah,
think that's always what
exactly.
Marvel does
Absolutely.
best, is just ground it in the characters and then branch out from there.
Yeah.
So as long as we are attached to the characters, we're going to buy whatever they're selling.
And I like the fact that Taika Waititi is doing this. Like Taika, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but he worked on a screenplay for Manoa.
Oh,
So-
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Him getting a little bit more mainstream and taking something like Thor Ragnarok on, it's going to be completely different than what we've seen with like
Right.
the past Thor movies. So I'm excited for that. So a little indie movie coming out this weekend.
Oh, yeah, just a little.
Doctor Strange is coming out. Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. All
Oh my
right.
God.
Y'all are way
I'm
too
so
excited about Doctor
Hey
Strange.
man,
I'm sorry.
hey man,
I'm just saying.
by the hoary host of Hoggoth, it is coming out and I am excited. Yeah, I just
so
dropped the
there.
Doctor Strange line, it's gonna get funky.
Okay.
All right, so what do you guys think it's gonna make for box office this weekend?
I think it's going to blow it up.
Really?
Yeah.
How much, give me a range.
I don't know, big numbers.
Big numbers,
What's a large number?
like I think,
$50.
I'm
I'm just kidding.
I think it might do like 75 to 80.
That's literally what I was going to say. 75 million.
Like, I think it's gonna do real. First of all, it's Benedict Cumberbatch. He's got so
Right.
many fangirls
Yeah.
already, and it's Marvel.
But it's also like
literally.
they've already established how many like early tickets have been sold, and it's
Right.
not as many as usual. Like it's doing well in the world box office.
Right.
But I think that domestically it'll probably just be like a modest take for Marvel. Just because people may like Benedict Cumberbatch, but it's more like a fandom thing that likes Benedict Cumberbatch.
Right.
He's not really a household name.
and nobody really
Yeah.
knows Doctor Strange
Yeah.
outside of the
He is
Marvel
in my
fandom.
household.
He's
in
your
my
household
he
name.
is very well known.
Like who knows what that might be, but
Yeah.
I think it'll generally do well. It's not going to do like they're saying that the numbers are going to be better than Ant-Man.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll do better than Ant-Man.
I think it's Marvel. First of all, they have the stamp of Marvel, so that'll do really
Right.
good. But once it actually comes out and word of mouth starts happening, like that's what happened with Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody knew what it was about. Nobody
Yeah.
had any idea, but people started seeing it, being like, "This is amazing. You have to go see
The
it." and
trailer
it'll
for
be
Guardians of the
really good.
Galaxy, though, was also like it did draw people in. Like people
Right.
were like immediately intrigued by that, and I
Right.
think not so much by Doctor Strange. I feel like the people in
Right.
general like a little bit like not sure what to expect. You
Yeah.
know? But because it's Marvel.
But
Like,
because it's Marvel.
people will go see it.
Right. I think the whole thing with Guardians too was they had a lot of outworld of the movie tie-ins. So they had the soundtrack that was being popular. You had
Yeah.
Hooked on a Feeling that was gaining steam because of the trailer.
Hooked on a Feeling.
You had that earworm that was going.
Yeah.
They had a year promotion prior to that starting at
Yeah.
Comic-Con. So they had all these things for Guardians which made it a success.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas Doctor Strange, you have the great cast, but you don't have the household name. I mean, even the Guardians weren't a household name, but you don't have all those marketing tie-ins that help.
Yeah.
Right.
But who knows what's going to happen with
Yeah.
it. So, Ant-Man, we got some news on Ant-Man this
Yeah.
week. Ant-Man will be staying in its own part of the MCU for now.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's great. I mean, if you start trying to fit in everybody with everything in tie-ins, it just gets a mess.
Exactly. You
We
just have
already-
another Avengers.
Yeah, we already know that we saw him in Civil War. Great, that was
Yeah.
fun. But, I'm okay with just seeing him have his own movie and have his own storyline. We don't need to cram everybody
Yeah.
else in there.
They're not saying that he and Wasp aren't going to show up in the other
Right.
Right.
group
We already
movies.
know
It's
that
just
Wasp is
they are
confirmed
gonna
Avengers
be,
4.
and that's how I think it should be for the most part, unless you have someone who can't carry the movie on their own,
Yeah.
like Thor. But
What? Hey. Hey.
I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying Marvel clearly thinks he can't because they put Hulk in there. But Ant-Man, he's already so offbeat as it is.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
so different from the rest of
Yeah.
the Avengers.
And I mean, I feel
stuff.
like Peyton Reed gets it. He says,
Yeah.
I think we like our little Ant-Man quarter of the universe because it's a whole different vibe tonally, but also in terms of who Scott Lang is, who Ant-Man is.
Yep.
He is a guy who is maybe not so sure he wants to be this Avenger-style full-on superhero.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is great.
The great, like you were saying, how it was a very different vibe. Ant-Man was a heist movie.
Exactly.
The rest of them have been like action movies. Ant-Man was like a planning things out kind of movie, and I love heist movies, especially with superpowers.
I mean, exactly, but even
I want
the
more
cast.
of that. Please give me more of that.
I like the fact that it
Absolutely.
was a heist movie, but you also had Michael Pena that was like a little bit
he
more
was-
comedic.
Yeah.
You had T.I.
Yeah.
You had David Dalmatian. He was in The Dark Knight, a little bit more
Yeah.
serious movie. You had this great cast, and they kind of were into this all, but that was based off what Edgar Wright did.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how they carry that on.
Yes,
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
So let's keep going. So we have a couple more things in Movieverse. So David Leitch is the front runner to direct Deadpool 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's very
I love it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys see John Wick last year when it came, or back in 2014 when it came out?
No.
He was the
I
co-director
heard
of
things
John
about
Wick.
it. I heard great things
John
about it.
Wick, if you like action movies, see John Wick.
Yeah.
And then you will understand why he is perfect
Yeah,
for Deadpool.
what I think is interesting about him is that he has such extensive background as a stuntman. You know, so
Exactly.
like,
Right, exactly.
and Deadpool, like, aside from the humor, which the writers can have hopefully taken care of,
Yeah.
you want those really cool stunts that you can
Right.
do without having a huge budget.
Right.
Days, you know?
Yeah.
So
He knows how to work with a small
exactly.
budget.
Physically,
Yeah.
he's going to
Exactly.
know how to
and
direct.
he did a whole bunch of
Exactly.
stunts on V for Vendetta, and those
Right.
things were amazing.
And he was a second unit director on Captain America Civil War
there you
go.
with Chad. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. His co-director Chad.
Oh,
they
okay.
were second directors on Civil War. So if you're
Yeah.
working on Civil War, you know Marvel.
Yeah.
You know the universe. You know he even knows Ryan Reynolds. He worked with Ryan Reynolds before on X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Right.
But that's not his fault.
The movie that's not happy name.
Exactly. He worked on that. So
Yeah.
I'm all for this.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I think it'll be great.
So we'll see if he's confirmed. So small topic, about 5 minutes I want to talk about.
Tell me. Oh.
Post-credits, spoiler discussion. Like, how do you guys are feeling about all the post-credit scenes leaked from Doctor Strange leaking onto the internet right now? Because it's already released internationally, but I'm seeing so-and-so's confirmed for this movie. I don't want to say it on air
Right,
because I don't
understandable.
want to spoil it because
Yes.
I already have one
I
character
feel
spoil
like
it for
there's
me.
no way to avoid it. Like at this point, like it's not like we can ban it from happening, you know?
Right.
So I think that if people are respectful about it and they discuss it, you know, you tag your spoilers, whatever. You don't just go in people's inboxes and spoil things from
But I
Star
know,
Wars
like,
and
I've
Force
seen
Awakens for
I've seen
them.
like stuff on Facebook. I work
Yeah.
on social media, so I see stuff on
Right.
Facebook all day.
It's hard- it's so hard-
Even if
it's
it's like
hard
I
to
see it
avoid
outside
it,
of my
yeah.
eye, and I'm like, so and so confirmed,
Yeah.
and it's not even like spoiler. I'm like, damn it, I don't want to see
I think that
Right?
people shouldn't like people working for the media or anything that's official
Right.
shouldn't be releasing that information.
Like I'm just like,
that's
no.
ridiculous.
Like don't do
But like
that.
Yeah.
people talking about it amongst themselves, there's
Right,
nothing that you can do
that's
about
cool.
that. But yeah, websites and blogs
Like, I'm
and
like,
stuff
just
releasing
don't
that,
do
that's
it.
not cool.
Like,
That's
don't do
not
it.
all right. Don't do that.
Don't
guys.
do that.
Don't do that.
do that.
All right, so
That's
we're
not
getting into
okay.
the comment verse. Guys, remember, if you guys have any questions, hashtag Agents of Marvel on Twitter and comment in the YouTube stream. We're seeing some really good comments right now, and I love the fact that you guys are super active on it. Zach Fontaine says he needs more Michael Pena and
Always,
his cousin.
always. And more Latino
Like,
characters in general in the MCU.
Damn
Just
right. Let's
saying.
make that happen. Slim says, as long as Hulk yells, you puny aliens entertain in Thor Ragnarok. I love that. I want to, you know what I'm going to do? Are you puny aliens not entertained? Let's do this. Let's do this. But let's keep on going back to comic verse. So,
Yeah.
R.L. Stein is writing a Marvel comic
Yes.
book.
I mean, it was
That
about
is
time.
amazing.
It was
I'm
about
so
time.
excited.
There's
love
nothing
this.
that R.L. Stein doesn't write.
I know.
I
It's
mean, R.L. Stein, I
fantastic.
grew up with Goosebumps.
Yeah.
I remember being like 9 years old, 18 years old, being like, Mom, I want to buy the new Goosebumps comic book right now. I gotta have this. That was my stuff. growing
Goosebumps
up.
was so scary to me when I was a child. That was how.
Right.
That was my like.
I couldn't even handle the covers. The
right?
covers were just like
they gave you goosebumps.
Really, they did. So I'm really excited for him to be writing a Marvel comic. I'm
And
like,
we don't know anything about it.
yeah, it's like
We
what
don't know
characters?
what genre.
No
We
idea.
don't know. It might not even be scary.
Yeah.
It
Right.
might just be like a funny comic. I don't
Really?
I dig the fact that we don't know anything about it,
Yeah.
and that's what excites me about it.
know. I mean, you know you're gonna get it anyway. It's R.L.
Right.
Stein. So.
Totally. So let's move on to the next thing. Marvel's Monsters Unleashed.
Yeah, Marvel's
Yeah.
Monsters Unleashed.
I love the fact, and we got some news that they're going to be fighting kaijus in the
Yeah.
comic book.
Now with
Colin
kaiju.
Bunn.
Yeah.
I
Colin
love
Bunn is amazing.
Colin
He
Bunn
is just knocking Deadpool out of the park.
He's spectacular, and I'm generally interested to see where they go with it. The fact that they're fighting kaiju, I can't wrap my mind around that. That's
it's a
something
mix
I
of,
wasn't
it's
expecting.
a mix of old and new
Right.
different characters.
Totally.
Yeah. Or monsters, or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, kaiju.
Maybe Werewolf by Night, who is my favorite Marvel
Yeah.
character. That would be great. What else do we got going on here? Let's see.
We've got another comic coming out for Spider-Man, in case you didn't have enough
Right.
Spider-Man in your
So
life.
Spider-Man Homecoming will be getting a prequel. And I'm actually generally excited about this. I know everybody's tired of the Uncle Ben storyline, but
Which is
especially...
why I hope it's not going to be in the movie.
Exactly. But I want to see what kind of out-of-box thinking Marvel's going to have with this. Because they've already done it with 2 movies.
Yeah.
They've already done this with comic, but it's been dead. It's been tired. Let's move on. I want to see how they're going to approach
I
it.
think, having a prequel comic is probably a great idea because I don't know if you guys have noticed the casting announcements for Spider-Man Homecoming, but there is like 300 Spider-Man characters in this movie, and
Yep.
there's no possible way they can all have a plot.
Totally.
There's no possible way a casual viewer could even know who all 300 of those people are.
Right.
So if they appear in the prequel comic, and we get to, you get to know a little bit about them. That way, when you're watching the movie, if you read that, you're in on the joke, and it's great. And if
Yeah.
you didn't, then they're just another character passing by.
Yeah.
Totally. And I'm jammed for this. So this week's comic releases.
Yep.
They
there's
got
been
some
lots
good
of-
stuff.
Yeah.
They got some good stuff.
Especially
So,
Avenger-related ones.
I'm excited. The Unworthy Thor.
Yep.
After following what everything's happening with Jane Foster in the comic books, she's the new Thor. I'm excited to see how this is gonna work.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's the same writer, right, for
Yep.
for both of them.
Yep.
So you'll be able to follow along with both. It's showing basically how Thor wants to become worthy of Mjolnir again.
Right.
No. So
Man.
and the art looks really good too.
Yeah, it looks spectacular. You have Occupy Avengers #1.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Hawkeye,
Yeah.
and also Red Wolf, is that the
I
character's
think it's
name?
Red
That's
Wolf.
his like sort of like
Yeah.
co-lead going on in that story. It's really interesting so far.
Yeah, it's excited. You have Marvel
Hawkeye fighting
Champions.
for.
We got some good books.
Champions is a lot of fun. Like if
Yeah.
you love the younger, all new, all
The
different
younger
Avengers.
side, right.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
and
great.
you were annoyed by Civil War, like they were. Then you should
Yeah.
definitely follow Champions.
And Avengers #1.
Yeah. I mean, it's Mark
see.
Waid.
Yeah.
So
Mark Waid
you
is
always want to
dope.
read Mark
Like-
Waid. I'm not sure how I feel about the art right now. It's kind of like old timey. It's kind of
Yeah.
So if you're into that.
I generally want to see it, but Mark Waid is one of my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mark Waid, Cullen Bunn, and of course Bendis. Like those are my 3 top as far as when it comes to Marvel. But who knows? Who
knows?
Who knows? Who knows if I'm going to love
Literally,
anybody
I
else?
haven't read the new Avengers #1 yet. I just looked at the art. But
I saw it too, but it's going to be great.
I don't have
Get on
time.
top of it.
All right.
But I will be.
So, hero villain of the week. Let's get into it. Who is your hero villain of the week? I'm going to start off with Madison.
All right.
Robbie always has my heart.
Yes.
There's something about it, just his heart broken, like he has the weight of this demon on his shoulder, but he's still trying to do the right thing, but the right thing is not always the right thing. And his acting is just on point. And the fact that he's not actually an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like he's kind of a rogue kind of thing. He
Yeah.
can do whatever. I mean, they're obviously like, there's gonna be some consequences. Yo, we're gonna have to take care of this. But right now, we need you to just light some ghosts on fire for us. So,
Yeah,
and so
totally.
I love him. I think he's great. And for my villain, I'm gonna go with Mace. I mean,
Mace?
Oh, all right.
All right.
He's feeling kind of villainous to me, man.
Well,
Nice.
you put it out there.
I don't trust him. He has done nothing to gain my trust.
He's about to mess some crap up.
Yeah.
He's about
he
to go in.
is. And first of
He'll
all,
regret it later.
he
But
has
now
broken
he's
up my Fitzsimmons. He has torn them apart. Fitz is freaking out because he can't find his Simmons, so I am not okay with that.
But they were
And
fighting
on that
against
note,
him.
I'm going to throw it to Tatiana.
Oh,
Yeah.
me? Okay, well, I gotta agree with Robbie as the hero of the week,
Yep.
because
Who doesn't
just
love
learning
Robbie?
his backstory and just the moment where he's basically praying to save his brother no matter what.
Yeah.
That was just beautiful, wonderful. My villain's gonna be Eli Morrow because I am shocked and disappointed in him. I can't believe he did this to
I
me.
will go off of that.
Yeah.
I have 2 villains and a hero.
2 villains in a
Two
hero.
villains.
All right. 2 guys, a girl,
Eli
and a piece of
Morrow.
lace.
Eli Morrow. That turn was spectacular.
Yeah.
I am fully I was like, damn. As I'm a little bit evil sometimes. I love this. I can't go enough about it. I love that turn. It was so great. As far as my second villain, it's either a tie between Mace or someone who's going to be in Doctor Strange, which we can't talk about yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see because of the spoilers.
We're gonna find out
Yes.
on
Spoilers
Friday.
yet.
And my hero, Scott Derrickson. I'm going out. Scott Derrickson.
All right.
Everything
Yeah.
that I've seen on Doctor Strange thus far, he has killed it on this movie. I am
Yeah.
so happy I can't wait to see this movie. It is my highlight of the week. Scott Derrickson casting, the visuals, the direction, everything about
You're
this
really
movie.
big on real life heroes,
Yeah.
huh?
Damn right.
Absolutely.
Scott Derrickson. If you're
Real life
listening, you're
heroes,
my
ladies
hero
and
of the
gentlemen.
week. All right? All right, guys.
There you
So
go.
let's get to Agents Check-In.
Yes.
So let's see what we
Oh.
got here.
Slim 413 hopes Mace doesn't die. I too hope Mace doesn't die.
I hope he gets some redemption.
Exactly.
I'm hoping we can actually
Exactly.
start liking him.
I know
but so far,
he's gonna
he has
regret
done
what he's
nothing.
done. I know he's gonna regret taking the wrong tack, and he's gonna join them by the end of the season. I believe.
Yeah, and he's probably gonna put on some like colorful super suit or something, and punch a bunch of stuff. 'Cause
Totally.
That's what happens.
Exactly. Big Stan says, I know this is way off subject, but what if they did Agents of Smash for the MCU?
Agents of Smash.
Yeah.
But, like-
So basically, Agents of Smash.
It's not so hard to
So
say.
basically, it was an animated series that dealt with the Hulk family. So you had
Oh,
She-Hulk,
okay.
you had
Ah,
Hulk,
alright.
That would
you
be
had
awesome.
A-Bomb,
Yeah.
you had Red Hulk, and they were a little bit of a family, and they were kind of acting like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., kind of taking
Hulk
on different
family.
things. And I think that might be something that Marvel might do like way down the line. But I would kind of love to see something like that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love to see something like that. I'm
be
a
down.
big fan of She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I Red Hulk. We thought he was going to be in Civil War originally, but it
lies.
didn't turn out.
So we approve this message.
Right. Zach Fontaine, Zach, I see you in there, bro. What's going on? Carnage, we need Carnage. Yes, make Carnage happen. Sony's got some stuff coming out before the end of the year. I want Venom. No mistake to what's his face, Topher Grace, but I want a new Venom, and Carnage needs to happen.
Yeah.
Let's see what
Now
else
let's
we got.
see. Is Slim 413 again? It says, could we get a Johnny Blaze, Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider fight?
Oh.
That would be kind of that would actually
I
make it
would love
really
that.
like them going toe to toe.
But once he gives him his spirit of vengeance, is he still spirit of vengeancing?
Yeah, I mean, in the comics, he didn't give it to him originally because
okay.
it was actually Eli. But
Right.
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
But I want to see that panel when Johnny Blaze is like flying out of the sky with the motorcycle, and you see Robbie in the car looking up at it.
that'd be
I want to
awesome.
see something
I
like
would,
that.
I would
really
love to see more of him
fun.
because it would be unfortunate if we
Right.
got that super
Yeah.
cool
Right.
and also different CGI that tells so much of his story
Yes.
without anything.
Absolutely.
And then only use it for that scene.
Yeah.
Totally.
Now, I think that probably kind of nearer to the end of the season, they're going to have him show up going, I'm going to give you some last piece of wisdom to unlock your inner potential to defeat this one bad guy. Is probably something along the lines of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh.
That
And
would be
also,
great.
what would be really cool is actually a team up to fight a bad guy. That would be dope. It's like
We'll
one
see.
common enemy, lots of fire.
We'll see.
Kill
Let's
it with fire.
fire! Kill it with fire! Well, let's see what else you got. Danny Mayer says Claire is literally the Coulson of the Defenders.
Yeah, because she'll come back to life instead of dying.
Danny, I'm giving you a virtual fist bump.
Not gonna-
You're one of my heroes of the week for agreeing with me and not agreeing with Tatiana.
No,
Anyways,
you don't know that. You don't know.
we don't know what's gonna happen.
She'll come back
And
to
let's
life
see
and
what else
or
we
she'll just
got.
think she's dead. She's not really dead. It's fine.
Yeah.
Nobody ever stays dead in the Marvel
Exactly.
Universe. They're only mostly dead.
No one ever stays dead in the Marvel Universe.
Dead until proven otherwise.
When
What
do
is
you
this?
think we'll be getting some of the royal family as rumored in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I don't know. That might be saved for the second half.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking forward to that too, especially now that they're leading to Illuminati. In
Right.
the movie.
Right. If that starts
that's
happening,
the
then
case,
you know it's-
then it's Black
yeah.
Bolt. Then that's going to be the case. And I'm going to go. I'm not going to say the S word, but I'm going to lose my bananas. All right. I want to see that.
You don't want to put no money in that swear jar, I see.
Yeah.
Check the square jar. Anyways, I think that's going to do us for this episode of Agents of Marvel.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, Madison.
We've got that break coming up.
Yeah, 4-week break of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., guys. So
yes, but we
that's
have
going
the
to be a little
premiere
depressing.
of
Doctor
Yeah.
Strange!
We'll
Which
have
will
other
be-
things to talk
Let's
about.
do it.
Yes, there is. Whoops,
But
I'm moving
what,
the table.
why?
That
I'm
was
so
her this
excited.
time. That was
I am
not
so
me that
excited. I
time.
just shoved the table out.
Anyways, Madison, where can we find you on social?
You can find me at youtube.com/Maddie to the Max. Please subscribe to me there. And you can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. Boom.
Yeah.
And Tatiana, where can we find
Hey,
you?
you can find me at Marcella's Ear on Twitter or Valerie M. Perez on Tumblr.
Dope. And as always, guys, you can find me at Clement Bryant on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.
He's just himself all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, gorgeous.
with a face
Sexy.
like that,
Exactly.
why wouldn't you?
Perfection. Why?
I mean-
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, hey, guys, want to get any coffee? I don't know about that.
All right.
All right, guys, that's going to do us for Agents of Marvel tonight. We want to
Yes.
see you back. Hashtag Agents of Marvel on Twitter all week long and in the YouTube comments after the video ends. We want to see what you guys are talking about, specifically about my boy Johnny Blaze possibly being in the MCU.
Yes.
And what you guys are going to think about Doctor Strange after you see it this week.
Yes.
So that's it. Thanks for tuning in and hope to see you in the comments and see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.